My cousin Sarah's wedding was a sprawling, sun-drenched affair at my aunt's ridiculous mansion, and I was stuck on flower duty. More specifically, I was trying to wrangle my toddler nephew away from the rose bushes before he ate all the petals. That's when I overheard it, a snatch of conversation carried on the breeze. "Better than anything I've ever felt," a voice murmured, throaty and low. It was definitely my brother-in-law, Mark. I craned my neck, trying to see who he was talking to behind the towering hydrangea bushes. All I could make out was a sliver of shimmering emerald green dress. My blood ran cold. My sister, Emily, was wearing a cream-colored dress. I pretended to fuss with the flower arrangements, edging closer, my heart pounding against my ribs like a trapped bird. He was laughing now, that easy, comfortable laugh I hadn't heard him direct at Emily in months. I knew something was off with them lately. They had been fighting a lot, whispering behind closed doors. I had chalked it up to work stress, to the general drudgery of raising 2 kids, but this felt different. This felt like a knife twisting in my gut. The woman in green turned slightly, and I finally saw her face. It was Carol, my sister's best friend since childhood, the maid of honor, the one who was supposed to be helping her through this hectic day. I felt like the world had tilted on its axis. The scene swam before my eyes. I wanted to scream, to rip that ridiculous green dress off Carol's back, to confront Mark then and there. But Emily was just inside, radiant and beaming, about to throw her bouquet. So, I did nothing. I pasted on a smile and watched her toss the flowers. Then, I grabbed another glass of champagne and plotted my revenge. Later, during the toasts, I snagged the microphone. "I just wanted to say," I began, my voice shaking only slightly, "how wonderful it is to see 2 people so in love. And speaking of love," I continued, my gaze fixed on Carol, who was suddenly very pale, "I think it's amazing how some friendships can blossom into something even more profound. Isn't that right, Carol? Especially when 2 people have so much in common, like, say, a shared love for vintage motorcycles." Mark choked on his wine. Carol stared at me, her eyes wide with panic. See, I knew Mark had secretly been restoring a vintage motorcycle in Carol's garage. He had told me about it weeks ago, swearing me to secrecy, as Emily hated motorcycles. The look on Emily's face as she put it all together was priceless. Betrayal, hurt, and then, a slow dawning fury. The rest of the evening was a blur of whispered accusations, denials, and ultimately, tears. But I knew, as I watched my sister finally stand up for herself, that I had done the right thing.